Welcome to your practice for September. So September, we're coming back into the structure of our routine, back into schools and work. We're coming out of the flux and the change of summer, and we're settling back in, finding our routine. So similarly, we want a practice that will give us a sense of structure and organization, which means we are going to do a variation on the 5 Tibetans. We're going to do a variation on the spinal series of Kundalini, and we'll do a variation on a Vipassana guided meditation. So each of these are time tested. They're passed down to us. They're something that creates order, that we can get into that order, trust it, and then there's a freedom inside that order that's really the thing that we're looking for. So we start out, you want a blanket and 2 blocks, and your mat. We're good to go. We'll start right there. Your playlist begins at the stars in spring. Unfold your blanket, and you come to kneel. Your hands are on the floor. Your knees and shins are supported. You can put your toes flat or tuck them under, and just begin to round. Inhaling as you arch and open, exhaling as you round. And you can go slowly, closing your eyes. Begin to find this line through the body, that if you were to attend to the tip of your nose, that you would point from between your legs all the way up to the wall in front of you. Find that line. Find it in the middle of your back as though you were moving your navel forward, spreading your navel wide, and then gathering your navel up into the spine. You keep this steady motion, moving at your pace with your breath. Turn your right thumb forward. Turn your right fingers wide to the right. Turn your left thumb pointing forward and your left fingers wide. Now keeping that movement, keeping that breath, try to draw your hands a little bit apart, and you'll draw the movement up into your heart now. The heart rising into the spine, the heart drawing forward through the hands. The spine getting a little more active. You can stay right there, keep it going. Or turn your left thumb to the left, the fingers point back. Your right thumb to the right, your fingers pointing back. And now, the movement is really between the heart and the crown of your head, up and over, through the forearms, across the shoulders, down the back, right into the kidneys. Inhale as we open, exhale, flush it all the way out. If it's too much, you just turn your fingers again. Come back to the place that you can sustain. We're going to go 3. 2 and 1. Perfect. Turn your fingers forward again and begin to make a big circle with your seat. So from that line, now we can start to explore into the outer edges of the hips. Close your eyes. Find the outside edges of your ribs. Let your elbows bend and move independently. Let yourself rise and fall a little bit. Let yourself roll ahead of your wrists so that it's as though your tail is the bottom of the 8, the crown of the head is the top of an 8, that you could move through this shape. And then reverse that circle, reverse that shape. And with your eyes closed and your body moving, you're finding your way into the parts that have been still or closed or stuck. You're letting your breath change its pattern in your body. That there's an ability to get into our truth, right? Because we can feel, this is really where I need to go. This is really how I need to move, instead of the way I should or the way I'm familiar with, or the way I'm expected to. Let it get smaller and sweeter and more personal. Just the last few circles, any direction, any motion that you need for 2. For 1. So that when you return, you can find just 3 last cat-cows rounding through the space you've made, gathering back into that line. The tail of the seat, the crown of the head, rounding down, rolling open, and putting the feet flat. Drop your hips towards your heels and extend down into your child's pose. Wag your tail, settle in. 3. That there's a relief when we allow ourselves to really feel with a freedom that says, I need to go here and I need to go there, and no one needs to be the wiser. Get where you need to go and then settle. Rise up, and you'll set your blanket aside for now so that you can come to stand. And as you stand on your mat, big reverse circles with your hands. Big reverse circles, putting a little bend in your knees, sweeping open. Each one's an exhale, 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 X. So as we loosen the hips, we're loosening the shoulders, we're loosening the ribs. X. Just for 3, for 2, for 1. So you start out with your left hand wide, your right fingertips to your heart, turning left and then turning right. Into left, out to right, in and out. Putting a bend in your knees so that you can press into your feet to create the turn. You're loosening through the inner arms. You're keeping your thumbs spinning up and open. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Loosening the upper shoulders, loosening the upper back, turning through the navel. The eyes are almost entirely shut, just enough for you to feel safe in your balance. Letting your chin follow your shoulders. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn your palms to face me. Hook your thumbs. Spread your fingers. Little wag of the tail. Your hands are going up. You're settling down into your feet and you're reaching up into your hands. And each time you think you've come to the edge of what you can do, you wag it out, you shake it out. You get that 1/8 of an inch more. You start to lift the chest, drop the shoulders. A little wag of the tail. Settle into your feet. That little extra length in the abdomen. Wag it out. Drop it down. Rise up. A little bit higher in the heart. A little stronger in the thumbs. One more time. Drop into your feet. Wag your tail. Tail down, heart high, reach, stay 3. Breathing smoothly. 2. Up and out, up and out, up and out. Soften your knees, drop your elbows, drop your shoulders, walk your hands down your body. Wag your tail. And bring yourself all the way down. So we'll unfold the blanket twice. You have a nice long rectangle, and you sit at one end. Feet are on the floor. Knees are bent all the way down. So we'll exhale to roll up and lift your left knee towards your chest and then straighten your left leg. Inhale, bend the knee. Inhale, foot, head, and shoulders to the floor. Exhale, right knee. Exhale, straight. Inhale, bend. Inhale to the floor. X, in, X, in, X, in. So it's as though you have this very steady walking pace. Each time you roll up, draw your low belly down into the floor. Straighten your leg as you can. Keep the breath steady and simple. If you need to, you can put one hand behind your head to support your neck, but really, you're just reaching into your fingertips, straightening out, bending down, resting down. X, in, out, in. X, in. 3, 2, 1. And coming to lie down flat, relax the shoulders, relax the hands, walk your legs out long. Feel the circulation around your navel. And after that contraction that creates this circulation, this fiery center of our body, we want to open it up and spread that out down into the knees, the shoulders, the hands and feet. So draw your knees into your chest, roll yourself up to a kneeling posture, and set a block between your toes. With that, you're holding tall. So as you hold this, it keeps your hips and thighs stable, low back long. Start out with your hands behind you. Inhale, lift your chin, and exhale, tuck it down. Inhale, up and open. Exhale, bring it down. So again, it feels as though you were drawing a line from the floor up the wall to the ceiling with the tip of your nose. Holding the block to keep your low back long. You're just lifting and opening the chest. And you're starting to feel a lengthening in the abdomen, lifting up and out of the pelvis. You can keep it right there, or turn your fingertips down the backs of your legs. Palms resting on your thighs. It doesn't need to get too big. Make it just the right size that you can feel the front body, the whole front belly opening up. 10, 9, 8. Hold the block if you feel yourself collapsing into your low back. Wrap your elbows towards each other. Wrap your shoulder blades towards your spine as you make some progress. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Take the block from between your heels. And set your heels to one side, your hips to the other, to put your legs out long. Now if you're seated on your blanket, I want you to turn so your legs come out sideways, the way I'm sideways on my mat, rather than your feet out the front of the mat, so that your blocks can be right next to you. So once you're set up, you anchor your heels down into the floor. If the blocks are next to you, just see that they're not going to roll open, because we'll put the heels of your hands at the front edge of the block. And bending your knees, press the block straight down to lift yourself up. Swing your hips forward. Swing back, set down. Inhale, swing forward. Exhale, set down. So start out just by finding that little swing of finding the flats of your feet. Inhaling and exhaling. And as you become familiar, it can get a little bigger, a little lift in the chest. Pressing your hands straight down will start to open the fronts of your shoulders across the chest. So if it's ever too much, you don't go into the chest, you stay sending your hips forward, sending your feet flat. So there's lots of area here for you to go exactly into the parts of your body that are prepared, and just make your way a little at a time into the front shoulders, into the front of the pelvis. And as you use your heels to pull yourself forward, you're strengthening the whole back body, lifting the heart up. And each time you do it, it'll get a little easier. If you need to pause and take a break, you do. And when the time is right, you'll be able to do the whole thing. Inhale up. Exhale, sit down. For 4. For 3. For 2. And last time, roll up and open, press straight down. Set it down, put your hands on your thighs and be still. If your wrists are sore, just turn your palms open. Open and close your hands. And your wrists will get stronger. So you can feel across the collarbones the length and the height that we're making. All of these postures are reducing this. This is not helpful. So come onto your knees again. Set your blocks out in front. You can fold your blanket back. So each of these takes a little bit of preparation, but you'll get better and better, more familiar. And with your hands walked out, your knees walked back, set yourself into a child with your hands on the blocks. This is your breath out. Rise up to hands and knees. Let your hips come a little bit forward. This is your breath in. And then exhale, sending back. Inhale, coming forward. Put a little bend in your elbows. So as you come forward, bend your elbows. Let your heart come forward. So that your ears aren't up around, your shoulders aren't up around your ears. And you're starting to make length in the front of your body. If you like, your toes are tucked under. So that when you come forward, there's a little lift off. Inhale, open. Exhale, back. And you're listening. Only come as far forward into the heart and into the pelvis as you can sustain with safety. Little bend in the elbows. Now if you'd go further, your toes tucked under. After you inhale, coming forward, lift your knees, press back, down dog. Hands stay on the blocks. Hands and knees. Exhale, child. Inhale up. Exhale back. Start to find that rhythm. Opening through the shoulders. Keeping the back of your neck long and neutral. 3. 2. And 1. Set yourself down. Come back to fold your blanket up so that you've built a seat. And you can come to a cross legs. And in that cross-legged position, just sitting tall, pausing for a moment, feeling the breadth along that front line, feeling the height from the navel to the throat to the crown, feeling the anchor of the navel into the body and from the navel down into the floor, the strength of your arms, and the awakened quality of your breathing and your attention. So if that's yours for today, it's a great preparation for any practice at all. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, our full September Kriya Spinal Series variation.